We are recording.
All right.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the 90-day game plan chat, and this is the physical therapist call. So I am Dr. Stacey King, and tonight you're going to hear from myself, Dr. Kate Grace, and Dr. Hillary Granite, and we are just going to get right into this. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type into the Q&A, and one of us will get back to you as long as we're not the speaker. So to introduce myself, like I said, I am a physical therapist. I have a practice in Potomac, Maryland, and I deal with mostly an orthopedic and sports medicine practice. And I'm going to get into how I got introduced into the products and the business and why I love recommending our products to my patients. So I'm just going to get real. I was a Facebook stalker. I was watching Hillary, who's on this call, and she kept posting about this 10-day clean eating program, something called the Shred 10, feel better, have more energy, and I was all over it. I have always been, into fitness and health and wellness. I had a juicer, before anyone else did, and I was looking for something. I had a huge event coming up in my family's, in my family. My son's bar mitzvah was coming down the corner or around the corner, and I was looking for something to feel better. I work out a lot. I was a Division I gymnast, and I just was looking to, really honestly, the vanity of it all, I wanted to look good in the pictures, but I also didn't want my stomach to hurt. I didn't want to feel sluggish, very stressful coming into this period of time. So the January shred was starting, and I just called up Hillary and said, look, I can't find any information on this. What the heck have you been posting about? So she explained the program. She was probably halfway through, and I was like, just sign me up. And unbeknownst to my husband, I was signing him up also. So she signed me up, and because I was buying enough product, and I'll never forget these words, she said, look, if you love the products as much as I do, and I know you will, just sign on to the business. You're buying enough to cover your $50 franchise fee. And if you have any questions and you love it, let me know and we can talk about the business. So I was like, whatever, sign me up. I don't care. Let me just get going. I really just want to do this program. And I did. I jumped right in. And within days, I was feeling a difference. More energy in the gym. I was recovering faster from my workouts. I was able to push a little harder. Like I said, as a Division I gymnast, I beat my body to a pulp over the years, and everything always hurts. And I noticed things weren't hurting as much. So my brain started ticking around this a little bit. The 10 days ended. I was feeling good. My husband was feeling good. There was still 10 days to my son's bar mitzvah. So we kept going. So the program was just that easy, that to go another 10 days didn't feel stressful, and I wasn't worried about it. So we continued on for 10 more days until his bar mitzvah. And the kicker really was when we got there that day, while I was feeling good on the inside, I had that feedback from all of our guests asking, what have you been doing? You guys look great. And I naturally started sharing. So once I recovered from the bar mitzvah, I called up Hillary and I just said, all right, now you've got to tell me what to do, because I've been sharing and I have people interested and I have no idea what to happen. How to make this happen. So what is the Shred 10? It's a 10-day clean eating program. Whoever invited you to this call can give you more information on it. But what it really entails is just flooding our body with tons of nutrients. And that's where the Juice Plus products come into being. So our company has these amazing plant powders. And when you take a serving of these, an adult serving of these, you're getting over 30 vine ripened fruits, vegetables, and berries added to your diet in an instant. It's completely bioavailable. And what that means is that as soon as it hits your esophagus, your body starts to break it down and it knows what to do with it. These are not a vitamin or a supplement. It is nutrition. It has a nutrition label on it, just like you would find in the grocery store if you were to buy like a bag of frozen broccoli. It has nutrients in it. So your body takes it, this bioavailable, this big word, and it breaks it down and knows what to do with it. It puts it where it needs to go to help your body heal itself and to keep it running in top function. So we know that plants are where we get all of our phytonutrients. These are the micronutrients that our body needs for our cells to be healthy. And we need these to fight something called oxidative stress. And that's the air we breathe in, the contaminants, the bad food we put into our body, breaks down our cells, and it creates damage. It actually damages our DNA. And so what we need to do is keep it healthy by adding as many fruits and vegetables into our diet. And it's hard to get that every day. So we need to flood our bodies with at least 9 to 13 servings of plants every day. And by just taking these guys in, you're getting 30 of them. And what I love about them is that we know they're clean. They have something called an NSF certification on it. So I know that if I make this recommendation to any of my pro athletes I work with or college athletes, Olympians, that they're not going to get tagged and flagged in any drug testing. Safe for pregnant and nursing women, for kids, for adults. There's no warning labels on these products. And what I love even more that I didn't even know when I said yes to all of this is that there's a ton of research behind these products. This is the most researched nutritional product on the market. And when I started really digging into it, I was totally impressed. There's research done by MD Anderson and Yale, and because I'm in Maryland, I'm going to call it University of Maryland and Georgetown, and also the National Cancer Institute. And they're in peer-reviewed journals. So research is really important as a PT. I don't ever want to give advice to someone that isn't research-backed. And so when you see things, when you see our studies in journals that are peer-reviewed and top-tier research, such as the Journal of Nutrition and Medicine and Science and Sports and Exercise, I'm sold, right? And just digging in more, the studies that show that it can be absorbed into our body, there's 19 studies on that. There's 16 studies on oxidative stress. So making this recommendation to my patients to get more plants into your diet to help on the healing side is huge. And I have research behind it that says, this is what it is. This is great stuff. Please take it and let's see what happens to your body. So those are our micronutrients. We also have our macronutrients. Macronutrients are fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, and that's where our complete powders come in. And so while most people think of protein powders, yes, this has protein. It also has 15 additional plants in it, and it has fiber. And so the glycemic index is low, which makes this safe for diabetics. We have chocolate and vanilla. But you're getting even more plants into your diet just to keep your body in what we call into an alkaline state. That's where we fight disease. We need to stay there. Only disease grows in acidic states. So that's the story of the products. We also have, quickly I'm going to go over, but Kate's going to hit this more in detail, is our omegas. And these are plant-based. All of our products are vegan, but these are plant-based omegas. So when I have patients who are dealing with concussions or having some memory issues, some neuro issues, neurological issues, we know that omegas are good for heart and brain health. And I'm just going to leave it at that so Kate can go into that more detail. But it's yet another product that I recommend to my patients. So in summary, love the product. It has been a great addition to my business. And the fact that I can really help people, family, friends, but especially my patients get over their pain is one of the reasons why I love this product. So I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to pass it on to Hillary, who is going to continue on with her story.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. I just want to introduce myself. As Stacy said, my name is Hillary Granite. I live and work in Washington, D.C. I'm a physical therapist and a mom of twin boys who are 6 years old. I own my own PT practice in D.C. And before I also specialize in orthopedics and sports medicine. Before I was a physical therapist, I've always been super passionate in health and fitness. I was a personal trainer when I started my career. I have a master's in exercise physiology, and then I went on, became a certified Pilates instructor, and then I just most recently graduated from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition as a health coach. So I'm all about the research, which is what Stacy was just talking about. So when I was first introduced to Juice Plus, I was from my friend Amanda, who was also a physical therapist that I worked with years ago. And the only reason I ended up started with the product was because my boys, who were almost 4 at the time, were constantly sick. They had ear infections, runny noses that turned into an ear infection, and then we ended up with a pediatrician who put them on antibiotics. They were on antibiotics literally every 2 to 3 months for the first 3.5 years of their lives. And it wasn't until we went on Juice Plus that all of that stopped. So since we've been on the product, they have not been, one of them has not been on antibiotics at all in almost 4 years, and the other one has been on 1 time in all of that time, which I find pretty amazing considering they were on at least 4 times a year. So very happy about that. One other amazing product story is my son Gavin was born with eczema on his legs, and we heard that the berries were a great product to add for any type of skin issues. So we added the berry blend in, and about 4 or 5 months after he was taking that, his eczema on his legs completely went away. He may get some dry skin in the winter, but all those like itchy, dry patches that were painful to him are completely gone. So because we fell totally in love with the products, and my husband and I were seeing benefits as well, I decided that I was going to do the business. And it was really easy for me to start sharing with friends and family, and then eventually patients as well. When I came into this business, I was worried about like being good at sales. I hate selling things. Most of us hate selling things. I don't like being felt like I'm being sold to either. But this business is not about selling at all. It's once you start using the products and fall in love with them as much as I do and everyone who you hear on this call, it's going to be really easy to share with other people. So also when I joined the business, I was looking for a passive way to make some income passively, because as a physical therapist, we're constantly trading dollars for hours. So if I decide that I want to take a few hours off to go to my kids' school or volunteer for one of their field trips, or if I want to go on vacation, being a business owner, I don't get paid if I'm not working. I don't get vacation time. I can take off time, but I'm not getting paid for it. And I still have all of the expenses and overhead and stress and having to pay my employees, even though I'm not bringing an income at the time. So even though I love being a PT, the best part about being part of Juice Plus is that I still get to do what I love, which is inspiring, healthy living, helping people heal, helping people feel better, but on such a bigger scale and only for $50 a year, which is pretty amazing. I was brought up from my dad thinking like you have to work really hard to be successful in a career or in a profession. And I have been working really hard. But what I love about Juice Plus is that it's teaching me how to work smarter, not harder. And which I think is just amazing. And also before Juice Plus, I never really had a plan B. I didn't have a plan B. So I always worried about if either I decide that I want to retire or my body can't continue working the high demands of a physical therapist. Because I'm a manual therapist, I stand most of the day. Or even worse, if I got injured and I wasn't able to work, I didn't have a plan B. So with Juice Plus, now I think of this business as an asset that I'm growing over time that will eventually just pay me forever, which I just think is so great. And most people I know, whether they're in business or real estate or finance, most people I know who are really successful have multiple streams of income. And that's what I'm trying to create with Juice Plus, and so can all of you. So as far as like the business, when I first started, I had a lot of like questions and skepticism around the business model. And, I was like, is it a pyramid scheme? Is it one of those things? And it's not. So I did a ton of research. This company has been around for over 25 years. The person who started this company, he is a CEO and he is still there. If there was anything unethical or illegal or weird, it would have gone out of business like years and years ago. This product has never been recalled in 25 years. And the amount of research that they have that you heard Stacey talking about already is just incredible. So it makes it really easy to share with my patients, with the people I love. Even I have patients that are doctors. I share it with them. So it's been a really great second source of income for me. So as far as how does the business work, it's called a franchise model, a virtual franchise. And what that means is that every single distributor gets a personal website and an online office. And what we do when we decide to partner with Juice Plus is we just basically, we're about customer support and sharing the products, but the company does all the work for us. They manufacture the products, they bill the customers, they ship it, and then they pay us directly through direct deposit monthly. We never keep any inventory ourselves unless it's our own product. So it's not like we're buying and having to ship. The company, Juice Plus company, does it for everybody. We all come in as a same level of a distributor. And I said, we only pay $50 a year to have your own virtual franchise. We all have the exact same marketing plan, and we all have the same potential to make it to the top. And the great thing is that you only make it to the top by helping other people. The more people that you help, the quicker you're going to get to the top. And once you get to the top, our top level is called the National Marketing Director. Once you make it there, you have full benefits package, which is medical, dental, disability, long-term care, prescription, college assistance, bonuses, and then also monthly expenses. And I know I don't get any of that for myself. I have to pay for all of those things as in my PT business. So this company is definitely a company with a heart. They take care of all the virtual franchisees and distributors, but they also take care of the community as a whole. There's something called the Family Health Study where they give over 1 million families product to help kids be healthier and start off life healthy. So all kids can get it from the ages of 4 to college age for up to 4 years. And then we are the #1 sponsor for St. Jude's Memphis Marathon. And then they give back to Boys and Girls Clubs across America through their Tower Garden, which is an aeroponic growing system, which is incredible. I actually donated one to my kids' elementary school. So the last thing I just want to end with that is the community. When I joined this business, I never expected to get out of what I'm getting out of it. So when you join, what I gained was this huge community of like-minded people, which are healthy, inspiring, just happy people. And in my traditional business, there's no one patting me on the back and wanting me to do well and inspiring me to be the best person that I can be. And when I joined Juice Plus, I surrounded myself with this amazing good vibe tribe that only wants the best for me and encourages me to be my best self. And the amount of personal growth that I'm already have done over the past couple of years, I just know it's going to just keep getting better. And I never expected that. And even if I wasn't making the income that I am or see the potential that I'm going to make with Juice Plus, the community and what I'm getting out of it is something that I know that I would want to be part of forever. So I've been talking for a lot. So I'm going to turn it over to Kate, who's going to talk about how she integrates Juice Plus into her physical therapy practice.
Great. Thank you. Thank you both. I think our practices are very similar. I'm a physical therapist and an orthopedic physician assistant. So I split my time between our practice and surgery. So I'm around a lot of orthopedic surgeons who are sometimes difficult to talk to about nutrition, but not impossible. So I know a lot of people I see on this call have a variety of experiences, a variety of jobs, and I'll talk to you about how I introduce nutrition in my practice, and maybe it'll help in how I talk to doctors and patients, and maybe it'll help you in your individual audiences. My business partner, Annie, and I have always made all of our decisions and created anything we've created out of one simple thing, and that's there was a need. We have an orthopedic products company, we have an education company, we have even the way we have our practice. So there's a need, so we say, okay, let's fill it. Well, there's a huge nutrition need all over the world because we cannot get the foods that we need out of the foods that are grown where they're grown today. So we need whole organic foods that are vine ripened in order to keep our systems working the way they should. So when someone introduces anything to me, my first question is, show me the research. And that is the same question that these doctors ask me. So no one in my field is going to talk to me unless I can show them research, or it can't just be, well, Kate thinks it's good or somebody else thinks it's good. So as Stacy already mentioned, that there are over 40 great double-blind, placebo, peer-reviewed research studies done on this that was started by these companies, MD Anderson, Tufts, et cetera. It wasn't the other way around. So we know that there's good research to support this, and I don't know any other company that has that. So when I talk to doctors, I usually refer them to the website. You can go on juiceplus.com, hit the research tab, and you can look at all the research that has been done and is pending. And when I go visit someone, I bring a hard copy of whatever their specialty is. So when I went and visited this dentist, I brought the periodontic journal, and he said, oh my gosh, this is my peer-reviewed journal. This must be good. So I would recommend that you do that for whatever, if you're talking to a mom or a pregnant person or an athlete, bring whatever research article it is that they would be sensitive to. So many in all of our practices, all three of us, most of our patients have some kind of inflammatory process. And that can be in your gut, that can be in joints, etc. So I discussed with them how Juice Plus decreases inflammatory reactions in your body. Feeding our body with fruits, vegetables, plant-based diet, omegas, antioxidants, all turn your body, like Stacy said, from an acidic state to an alkaline state. Disease and pain can only operate in an acidic state. So we have to do everything we can to change our body into an alkaline state. So I explain this to patients and how this can change even their hip joint or their knee joint, not just their gut. So how do I introduce this to my patients? So I talk to them about how you're gonna fuel your body to make it the most efficient. And so the question I ask my patients is, well, how's your diet? So I get so-so, crappy, terrible. And in fact, I'm training a girl I think is going to be one of the best, could be one of the best tennis players in the world. And I asked her that question. She said, crappy. So I said, all right, I've got something. You need 15 to 20 fruits and vegetables the way you're training. And there's no way you can get that. So I have a way you can get it. You can take these first thing in the morning, flood your body with 30 fruits and vegetables, and you've done it. And she says, okay, great, sign me up, because then I can eat whatever I want the rest of the day. And I said, well, it doesn't exactly work that way, but I suppose you could. So I sometimes pit athletes against each other too. I was training these 3 basketball players, high school basketball players, getting them ready for the season. And one of them gives me 150% all the time. And so I said to him, I said, hey, do you want an edge? Let me explain this to you. So I explained it to him. He said, oh my gosh, sign me up, but don't tell the other 2 guys. And I said, I won't. So that may help. I'm not sure. And then I think my belief is that there's 3 things in your life that have to be in balance, and that's mentally, spiritually, and physically. And they all have to work together. You can't expect optimal mental function if you're filling your body with crap. And you can't expect your body to operate if you aren't supporting your mental status. So I want to talk a little bit about brain function, or malfunction really is what's happening. Historically, the number of diseases that we've treated in our country the most have been cardiovascular disease. Unfortunately, the last couple of years, the number of diseases that we treat for the brain have surpassed that number. So it's all the ADD, ADHD, depression, dementia. So the brain is made up of 60% fat. So we have to put really good fat in our brain for optimal function. The very best good fat to eat is wild Alaskan salmon. Secondly, it would be avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, eggs, etc. The best supplement is omega-3. So there have been over 22,000 studies on the positive effects of omega-3 on the brain, all with positive results. Getting kids off medication that they're putting them on for ADD, ADHD, help with depression and dementia. So there's another huge group that I'm writing blogs for now, and that I would highly recommend that everybody educate, starting with people who are even thinking about having a baby. I know you guys have already had your babies, Stacy and Hillary, but you're thinking about having a baby. And I wrote this blog and I said, look, it's just like getting ready for a sport. Your body's going to go through all these changes. So here's some recommendations on what to do before you get pregnant. So it's very, very important for pregnant moms to take omegas. And the most important time in pregnancy is the last trimester, because that's when the brain is growing the fastest. Plus, moms really need omegas, and the fetus is draining everything from the moms. Just ask any mom, and they will tell you. And so most of our omegas are going to the fetus, so they need a lot more. Studies also have shown that moms who take omegas during pregnancy and after pregnancy, great decrease in postpartum depression. So we can help them with that. I think that would be enormous. Also, the next most important part is years between 1 and 3. The brain develops the most in size between the first 3 years of life. That's why kids between 1 and 5 can take up and learn 4 new languages or 4 new instruments. By the time the child is 5 years old, your brain is 90% of its adult volume. So during this time, it's really important for kids to start on the gummies, and moms and parents to continue to take the omegas, particularly if hopefully they're breastfeeding. And they've done all kinds of studies on kids that if they're taking omegas during these times, they think better, they learn better, and their grades in school are better. And then the third most important time is as we age. We know that there is a brain deterioration with age due to mitochondrial DNA deterioration. Also, think about older people. They eat less, and depending on where they live, they may not eat very good food. So their nutrition goes down as they age, and so does the amount of food. So that group of people, you might want to call the elderly people, you might want to call the moms thinking about being pregnant, the pregnant moms, and say, this is why this is important. I also remind people, like Stacy said, is that omegas come from plants, from algae. So any vegan can take them, and also you won't get too much mercury that you might get taking a different kind of omega. I often get asked in my practice, I think we all do, well, do I have to do these exercises, and do I have to come this many times a week? Isn't there a quick fix for this? Now I can say, yes, there is. People say, is there a pill or a shot? Well, there's a pill. So taking these pills first thing in the morning sets you up to have your body stay in an alkaline state, eliminate disease, decrease pain. So now we can ask them to make one simple change, and it's what a lot of people are looking for is, can I take a pill for this? The last thing I want to mention is, and probably because this will be great because everybody's on their way probably to dinner, I want to mention colonics. And the reason I say that is because I was talking to a colon therapist once, and she said, I watched this waste go through my machine, and I saw this capsule going by. And she said to her patient, hey, when was the last time you had a pill in a capsule form? And she said, oh, I took an antibiotic about 6 months ago. So that whole time, that capsule sitting in her cilia and irritating her bowel. So the great thing about all Juice Plus products, capsules, is that they're esophageal sensitive. As soon as they hit your throat, they start to break down. So as I think Stacy mentioned, being bioavailable. So you want to think of this as a whole food. Think of the omegas as brain food, and that they will assimilate into your system right away. And I really see no reason not to choose this type of nutrition because it's almost impossible to get through our food. So that's what I know. I don't know if we can, Hillary and Stacy, do any questions because we can't see anybody or hear anybody. But did you guys read any questions, anything you want to comment on?
I just answered one question that Danica asked. And her question was, any recommendations for sharing with patients when you don't work in your own private practice? And so, what I would say to that is, just, there's many ways to do it. One of my questions that's on my, my patients, when they have to fill out all their demographics, is I have a whole section about diet. And I always ask them as a part of, what happened there?
Whoops.
There we go. I don't know what happened. I always ask them as a part of, that when I'm getting history is just I do ask about their diet and how many plants are they getting and are they getting a variety. And so as someone who, if you don't work for yourself, you're still going to ask those questions because these are still good questions that help you help your patient, right? So we're trying to do everything we can to get our patients' bodies in that, into that optimal healing position. So we use our hands, we use exercises, whatever it is. So you can bring that up. And if you're in a clinic that may not want you to be talking about it, you can always just bring it off on the side and say, look, there's this product that I've been using that I love, and you can give them their story and you can talk about the research and then just approach them on the outside.
I want to jump in also and just say something real quick about this. So the American Physical Therapy Association, APTA, added nutrition into our scope of practice over a year ago, which states that we should all be talking to our patients about nutrition, about inflammation, about oxidative stress, how it affects healing. And so, whether you work for yourself or you work for someone else, as long as you do one-on-one with a patient, that is the perfect time to be talking to your patients about their nutrition, their diet, what are they eating, are they getting enough fruits and vegetables? If not, you share your own story. This is what I do. With all my patients, I know that I talk to them about, where did you go for dinner last night? Or what's your favorite restaurant? Or what movie did you see? I mean, we all make conversations with our patients on a day-to-day basis with every single patient that walks in. So just like you would talk or recommend anything else is how you would recommend Juice Plus.
Great, thank you. Repeat, who's a pretty funny dude, he wants to go from Danny DeVito to Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, and are there verifiable data showing differences are made physically? I don't know that answer. All I can tell you is that the research that I've read about athletes' recovery time, high-level soccer athletes' recovery time was cut in half. So I know physically they've made improvements. I don't think this is so much about what you look like physically, but it's about your health and your well-being. But we can always contact Juice Plus and find that out. And then Courtney asked if this recording will be available right away. Hillary, you're really good at that, making these available. Probably on YOLO, will you put it on there, or someone put it on there?
I think
we'll
it goes
make sure
to
it's
90-day
available.
game plan. I think there's a spot there because
Okay.
We'll figure it out,
recorded to the
and it'll be recorded and saved and posted on somewhere.
Great.
I'll let you know.
Well, our half hour is up. I want to respect everybody's time. Thank you very much, Stacy, Hillary. Always a pleasure to be with you guys. And if anybody else has any questions at any time, we're all on Facebook. Please send us a question. We're happy to answer it for you. And if we don't know, we'll find out. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Good night.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night, everyone.